Hello everyone, I Professor S.A. Bansode welcome you all for this video lecture series on job evaluation and merit rating. I will deliver the two video lectures on this topic. So in the first lecture I will cover the job evaluation, and in the second video lecture I will deliver the merit rating with its objectives and various methods of merit rating. Now let us discuss first what is a job before defining a job evaluation. Now a job is nothing but a position where an individual is assigned a group of tasks. So there are many positions in an organization, as there are many such personal work. So once a right candidate is placed on a right job, the person needs to be duly compensated for the job he performs. So, in the pursuit of equal payment, there should be established a consistent and systematic relationship among the base compensation rates for all the jobs within the organization. The process of such establishment is termed as job evaluation. Now, if you define here a job evaluation process, so job evaluation is a process to determine in a systematic manner and analytically the worth of each job in the organization based upon the set of carefully selected factors such as skill, effort, responsibility demanded by the job, and translating these worth of jobs into monetary terms, that is pay scale and wages. So different jobs in an organization need to be valued to ascertain their relative worth so that the jobs are compensated accordingly and an equitable wage or salary structure is designed in the organization. So this is necessary for sustaining cordial relationships within and between employees and the employer. Hence there is a need for appreciation of intricacies of the job evaluation in the modern organizations. So in this lesson we will discuss the various fundamental aspects of job evaluation. As we say, the many recruiters recruit the employees through various processes, but how these jobs are created, how these positions are created, we will have some insights in this lecture. So then next, before objectives, let us discuss what is a job evaluation again. So here, in simple words, job evaluation is nothing but the rating of jobs in the organization. So this is the process of establishing the value or worth of jobs in a hierarchy, and it compares the relative intrinsic value, that is worthness of the jobs within the organization. So therefore we can say that it is therefore not the same job analysis, rather it follows the job analysis process which provides the basic data to be evaluated. Now let us see what are the various objectives of job evaluation. Now the first objective is to establish a sound wage and salary system determining the worth of each job in the factory in relation to various factors like the skill required, effort, and responsibility node. So these three parameters are important, which form the basis for creating a position or job in any organization. So the next objective is uh, to eliminate the wage inequalities. If there are discrepancies among the workers of the same job, so this can be eliminated with the job evaluation process. Next level is next objective is we have to decide here a wage level, that is hierarchy for a given factory according to the skills, efforts, and responsibilities assigned for that particular position, like supervisors, assistant, or sometimes electrician, mechanics, based on their experience. These levels we can decide, or hierarchy we can decide. Now fourth objective is to clearly define the line of authority and responsibilities. So it helps the managers or management for clarity on assigning the responsibility for taking the decisions while working. The next objective is to formulate an appropriate and uniform wage structure. Yes, a fair and impartial wage structure can be defined with the study of job evaluation process to provide a sound base for recruitment, selection, promotion, and transfer of employees. Right? So, job evaluation process also helps for selecting a right candidate, promoting the candidate according to their performance, and in case if needed, transfer of employees. Now, seventh objective we can discuss here, that is, if some workers or some employees need the training. So, in future, if there is a demand for the skill development of employees according to the projects or the new assignments given, so we can identify here the needs of workers or employees from the training perspective. Now, having known the salary structure, skills, responsibilities, so at the end, before the promotion, employees can be assessed according to their performance. That means the evaluation process helps for individuals performance measurement. And last important objective is for promoting the healthy relationship, that is good relationship between employees and employer. Now, let us discuss what is the procedure for job evaluation. Usually, this procedure has 6 steps. Those are job analysis, job description, job specification, job classification, wage determination, and evaluating the performance. So, the first important step is the job analysis. So, here every small detail about the job is recorded and information is collected. So, it is nothing but the process of collecting the information related to the operations and responsibilities of a specific job. So, here the immediate products of this analysis are job descriptions and job specification. So, we can say that the next steps, job description and job specification, are based on the job analysis. Right. So, in the job description, all the facts like the duties, responsibilities, working conditions, and other essential facts are studied. So, here the clarity about the requirement of job is more once we describe a job. Now, in the job specification, what we do, it follows basically job description. So, here uh, it is nothing but the statement of qualities and capabilities that an employee must possess to perform a job satisfactorily. That means we can say that here the essential requirements are important here of an employee. So here we can specify the job attributes possessed by the employee to complete the job satisfactory. These are nothing but the requirements, essential requirements of a person or an employee before selecting him for that position. Now here in job classification, we determine the relative worthiness of jobs. So we determine here the value, intrinsic value of the job here. And once the worth is decided, then next stage is to determine the salary or wages to be paid to the suitable employee. And last one, there should be a criteria for performance appraisal, and it is based on the job description and job specification. Now let us discuss the structure of job evaluation in the flowchart here. So first step is job analysis, where we record the facts about the jobs. In the job description we get the clarity of the requirement of jobs. In the job specification, the various attributes possessed by the employee to complete the jobs are specified. in the job classification, here worthiness of job is determined, and after worthiness of job determined, next step follow is the determination of wages or salaries, and last one is evaluating the performance. So these are the six important steps in job evaluation. Now let us move further for each of these stages. So usually first four stages are important because these are common in all the organizations. So wage structure determination might vary from organization to organization. So in this lecture we will discuss job analysis, job description, and job specification. Now let us see the job analysis datasheet. As job analysis is the process of studying and collecting the information related to the operations and responsibilities of a specific job. Here, in the job analysis datasheet, we can clearly get the data of the job or position. So, usually, job analysis sheet is made in this format. Here, job title is to be put, then propose the title, department, which department is required, that position, the person interviewed, date of analysis, all these things are put together. Then job summary, work performed, whether this work is regular or occasional or periodic. Then about equipments, whether these machines, uh, which machines are to be operated, which tools are essential, education of an employee, his experience, then the responsibilities to be assigned, and the physical demands. That means whether that employee is physically fit. So it includes physical effort, mental effort, monetary facts, and hazards. So job analysis datasheet gives the complete information about the related position or a specific job. So in this slide, let us discuss now job evaluation systems. So up to this point, we have understood the job evaluation is aimed at determining the relative worth of a job. So it involves a formal and systematic comparison of jobs in order to determine the worth of one job related to another, and eventually results in a wage or salary hierarchy. So the basic process also viewed as an activity of comparing the content of jobs in relation to other in terms of efforts required, responsibility involved, and skills needed. So the entire process is planned and prepared systematically by a job evaluation committee. Therefore, the job evaluation system should be simpler one. It should be readily understood by all the concerns. Therefore, whenever we follow the job evaluation system, the methods must be simple and readily understood by the stakeholders. So, usually there are four job evaluation systems we come across. So, the first method is ranking method, second one is job classification method, third one is point rating method, and factors comparison method. Now, let us discuss one by one here. Now, first, let us move towards the ranking method of job evaluation. So, in ranking method, jobs are ranked in terms of their performance with respect to the level of duties and responsibilities from lowest to the highest. Therefore, this is a simple form of job evaluation. The method of ranking of each job related to other jobs, usually it is based on some overall factors like job difficulty. So therefore, each job as a whole is compared with other, and this comparison of jobs goes on until all the jobs have been evaluated and ranked. So all the jobs ranked in the order of their importance from the simplest to hardest, or from hardest to lowest, right? That means either from lowest to highest of importance, or from the highest to the lowest of importance, and this rank is decided by the committee. So therefore the importance of order of job is judged in terms of the duties, responsibilities, and demands of the job folder. So this is the most easiest and simple method we can say. So in this ranking method, the steps involved are selection of job analysis, choosing the committee for ranking jobs, ranking of the jobs, and then grouping the job into grouping the job into groups by the committee. So first important step is job selection here. So once the job is selected, the next step is to obtain the job information. So we get the job information from job analysis, right? So job descriptions for each job are prepared, and these are the basis on which the rankings are made. So job ranking method usually ranks the jobs according to the whole job rather than a number of compensable factors. Once the job is selected, analysis done, next thing is to select the factors for comparison, like clerical worker, whether it is a clerical worker, whether it's a factory worker, and accordingly we can determine the skills required, responsibilities to be assigned, and other things. And the committee members should have the knowledge about the complete process so that they can give the guideline about the rank and rating of the jobs. So rank of the jobs are finalized once the committee is chosen, and then finally all groups are combined and then ranked by the committee. So once we rank the jobs, this is put in front of the management for the implementation. Now let us discuss here the merits of this method or advantages. So this method is simple, less time consuming, and less paperwork. And its limitations we can say, are the main disadvantage of this ranking method is that there are no definite standards of judgment, and also there is a no way of measuring the differences between the jobs. So this is the major limitation here, and also it suffers from its sheer unimaginably large number of jobs. So if there are large number of jobs to be compared, this is very less accurate, and it lacks the standard criteria for ranking of jobs. So its application is only limited to for small organization. Now let us go to the next method, that is job classification method. So in the job classification method, the job evaluation was made popular by the US Civil Service Commission. This is a simple and widely used method. It is also called as the grading method. So here we allocate the jobs to grades which are predefined. So in this ranking system there is no redetermined yardstick of values. So in the jobs grading approach there is a one such yardstick consisting of job classes and grades. So jobs are measured as a whole jobs. Under this method jobs are graded or classified and established by an authorized body or committee appointed for this purpose. So a job grade is defined as a group of different jobs of similar difficulty or requiring similar skills. So if we see here, Its examples. Examples are depending upon the type of jobs in the organization, like skilled or unskilled employees, whether it is a clerical work, whether it is a work related to typing, whether it is a work related to office superintendent or laboratory assistant, and so on. So, the steps involved in this job classification are depending upon the various factors such as difficulty or variety of work, whether it is a supervisory work, whether it is a judgmental exercise, whether it requires originality, whether how many responsibilities are involved, then experience and knowledge required of the employees. So there are the four steps usually involved in this job classification process. So first step is to decide and describe the number of grades. So here we have to prepare the job description for the basic information about the job. Then we have to prepare the grades or grading description for identification of different levels of jobs. Each grade must be distinct from the grade of adjacent to it. So after establishing the grade level, each job is assigned to an appropriate grade level on the basis of complexity of duties, non-supervisory responsibilities, and supervisory responsibilities. So the third step is listing of jobs to be evaluated. Here once we select the grades, the key job and the key jobs, about 10 to 20 jobs, which include all the major departments and functions and cover all the grades. So once we grade the key jobs are assigned to appropriate level and their relationship to each other job to be studied, and then we have to assign the jobs to grades based upon the grade and job level description. So here once we classify the jobs on the basis of grade definitions, all the jobs in the same grade receive the same wage or range of rate. For instance, menials may be put into one class, like clerks in another, junior officers in higher classes, and top executives in the top class. So this is the job classification system. Now let us move towards the point rating method. So in the point rating method, again this is widely used system for job evaluation. The method evaluates the compensable factors of each job. It involves a more detailed and quantitative and analytical approach for the measurement of work. So under this method, the jobs are broken down based on various identifiable factors such as skills, efforts, training, knowledge, hazards, responsibilities, and so on. Thereafter, points are allocated to each of these factors. So, the point rating method involves usually the 10 steps, where the jobs to be evaluated are selected, then the factors to be selected, then we have to define these factors, then we have to assign or define the degrees for these factors from 1 to 5, assigning the weightage to each of the factors, assigning the points to the degrees from 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100 for each of the degrees. So then we have to prepare a job evaluation manual, then we have to prepare job description and job specification, then we have to rate the jobs, and then at last we have to place the jobs into grades. So here, if we consider this point rating method, uh, we have to consider the factors like safety, equipment, assistance, production, or service quality. And while determining the levels or degrees, the amount of responsibility or the other factors may vary from the job. The point rating method rates several levels associated with each other. These levels help analysts rewards different degrees of responsibility like skill and other factors. Then finally we come across towards the application after rating of the jobs. So here one example is put here by considering compensable or critical factors and then deciding the levels. So here in this example, four levels are selected and weightages are assigned based on the critical factors importance. So here critical factors considered are here or compensable factors are responsibility, skill, effort and working conditions. Then for each of the critical factors, sub factors are considered and weightages are assigned according to their levels. So for each of the job, such a matrix can be prepared. Now what are the advantages and disadvantages of point rating method? So this method is more accurate than the previous method. Also this is most reliable. This is following more objectives due to quantification of factors. Here we are deciding the levels. That means we are quantifying the factors about the job requirements. Also this is more logical and practicable and it has good acceptability. But it has also its demerits like it requires large experience and expertise to define the degrees and points. And also points are allocated to the degree are random or arbitrary. Now the next method we came across is a factors comparison method. So in this method, uh, the five factors which are foremost for each of the jobs to be performed or for each position or each task assigned, they are more important. So they are mental effort, skill requirement, physical requirement, responsibility and working conditions. So in this method these five factors are compared. So key jobs are identified which represents the major level of duties, responsibilities and skills. Then these key jobs are analyzed for each of the five factors. Then the salary for each of the key jobs apportioned factors. Then you have to decide the wages paid for these jobs. And at last each of the jobs are evaluated for each of the factors on its money rating scale of the key jobs. So if we consider the example here, the allotment of wages for key jobs here based on the compensable or critical factors. So here according to level or hierarchy, supervisor, electrician or assistant, and considering the critical factors like responsibility, skill and mental effort, the various wage rates are put here. Also the rating and these critical factors are compared based on the responsibilities, skill and mental effort required from 1 to 4. This is the rating, and then each of the position is compared. Now let us move towards the job description. This is the second step in the procedure of job evaluation process. So job description involves the three parts. So first is job identification, and then the details about the job title, then which department, which section is required, the employee to be recruited or position to be created. Then we have to assign a job code that particular job title, then the name of supervisor and other details to identify the job. Then the job summary is required for the duties to be performed and work performed, which gives the details of both regular as well as occasional tasks to be performed, such as for the which machines are to be operated, which tools are to be used, working conditions and hazards. So job description sheet is in this manner. So for each job title, job code is required, the department, then job summary, the responsible for that is responsibilities are to be assigned, equipments and machines to be used, and working conditions or hazards. So the job specification is again important step here. So job specifications are prepared from the data collected during the job analysis. So here the qualities and capabilities of the employees are assessed for satisfactory performance. Then uh, we have to here describe the extent to which each of the job factor such as the education, experience, physical effort, responsibility and other works. So we get the more clarity about the job. So this that means we specify here the job requirements and the job description and job specifications both form the basis for the evaluation here. So it is essential to make sure that the facts are presented correctly. So job specification sheet usually is put in this way: job title, its code, department section, then proposed title, and then various points to be noted here: factors, description, degrees points here based on experience, responsibility for machinery and equipment, responsibility for work and others, mental effort, physical effort, working conditions, all are put here together. So let us stop here in this lecture. Thank you for watching this video.